Guest of us today. We let the guests introduce themselves. I know him as One Ball Dan, but Dan, introduce yourself.
That is a mad way to introduce
No, bro.
This is banter.
I know, but let him explain
I can't help it.
that.
But that's such like a cold introduction.
Yeah.
So you go, I've never met you before. By the way, it's my cousin. He's only got one ball.
Yeah, that's.
And then the other person doesn't know how to take that because they're like, does he? And then I've got to be like, yeah.
Mental, bro. But anyway, Dan,
Go on,
do
Dan.
your thing, bro.
Yeah, that's a hard introduction. One Ball Dan. Basically, I do stand-up comedy. Most of my material is about having cancer and testicular cancer. It's all right now because it's been like 10 years since I had it.
Yeah.
So it's not really an issue anymore. But yeah, you just make things bare awkward.
I love it. But do you not always? Is the question you always get is, does it work properly? Like the one.
Yeah. But that's I had that question when you have it. But you only use one at a time. So when you have sex, you only use one testicle or the other. So like losing one doesn't affect the other, if that makes sense.
I can't process what's going on right now. But yeah, go on, carry on.
So like, it's all good. I guess the only thing is maybe like one would just get more tired quickly.
Jesus Christ.
Just constant. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like working out, but just with like one arm.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, shit. There you have it, lads. Ladies and gents.
No, it's funny though. Obviously,
It's funny.
do a lot of well, I would say it's funny because I know you, but yeah, you do a lot of stand-up comedy for people that don't know. In terms of, I mean, a lot since you come back from New Zealand, isn't it?
Yeah, like I think that was like 3 years ago. I think about 3 years ago I come back, and then I've mostly just been like gigging the whole time.
Because I feel like there's a story that needs to be put onto TikTok, and I think because you did start your own comedy podcast for a little bit, but obviously uni and everything else. I know you got a lot of time.
That was lockdown.
Yeah.
Lockdown. Bad idea. You know, when you think you've got so much time, you're like, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. I recorded 2 episodes. I've put 2 episodes out. I then recorded over the space of 2 years. I've recorded maybe a further 5 or 6 episodes. They're not even fully edited.
Whoa.
It's just so at the moment I'm just thinking I'm gonna try edit them and then just chuck them out, and I don't even care about advertising. I just want them off my laptop.
Say no more then.
So you got more space for Football Manager.
Yeah.
Oh.
So question: how long have you been doing comedy for? Stand-up comedy.
So I think it's like 4 years now, coming up to 5. But
and do you enjoy every moment?
Nah, comedy's it's weird because doing it is fun. Like if you're in front of an audience and a good audience and you're getting like laughs and that's fun. It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Most of the gigs you do are like 10 people ish, like, and they're just sat there in a room thinking, why there's only 10 people in here? And then you're coming up trying to do new material, which is a hit and miss. And then it could be like a Tuesday evening. People just left work. They've gone, oh, we've seen like this advertisement. So they go into like a pub and it's just like a shit experience. Like no one's laughing.
Whoa.
And like, even if like, I've seen people that are so funny, man. And then you go into some open mics and they get absolutely nothing.
But you've been to some venues that, like I remember before lockdown coming to watch one of yours at Comedy Club.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But for context, Mo Gilligan does shows there even now.
I done that gig. So you're talking about the Blackout, which is at Up the Creek Comedy Club in Greenwich.
Up the Creek, yeah, Greenwich.
Yes, I see now.
And every Thursday, it's like an open mic night. So basically, you sign up to it, you get given 5 minutes. You have to sort of last the 5 minutes. So the first 2 minutes, they give you free. No one can like boo you off or nothing.
Yeah.
But what they do is give the audience free cards. And then if all 3 cards go up, you get like taken off. So that's between like the 2 and the 5 minute period.
Ross.
So I've done that a few times. But the last time I done it, Mo Gilligan was there. I was sat at the back with a mate, and the MC, like, we're just getting ready to go on, and the MC walks up to us and goes, yeah, no pressure, by the way, but Mo Gilligan's just walked in.
Oh, shit. That's pressure.
We're like, yeah, no pressure. Yeah.
How did he respond to your comedy?
Well, no, he was just in the corner, like, he didn't. Because otherwise, if he made himself known to, like, the room, there's carnage. I don't think most of the audience knew he was there. He walked in late, sat in the corner, and then just watched.
Yeah.
Did you see him laughing at all at your things?
Mate, you can't see nothing on stage. You just got like bright lights.
You got bright light in your face. You just got to work the crowd, mate.
Because see that Up the Creek. When I went and watched that, it's wild, you know. Because I saw some guys on there that. Okay, so as a viewer, there was some that were really funny, and there was like one or two who were just not funny at all. And the ones that weren't funny, the whole room kind of radiated with it, like to the point you're sitting there and you're going, like, not funny, but maybe they had a bad night in terms of jokes. So like one of them, I remember this one because he fucked up, and then he didn't know how to come back from it, and then he froze on stage, and I'm like, mate, I just wanted to take him off stage because I was embarrassed for him.
Yeah,
I was like that. But it does happen, I suppose, innit? I think Mo Gilligan even spoke about it, like getting booed off stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like gong shows as well. So they're 4 open mic comedians, right? So normally what used to happen with comedy clubs is they'd have like an open mic night, and they would so like when I started in New Zealand, in Auckland, and there's like one proper comedy club in all of New Zealand, and every Monday they have an open mic night, and it's literally you just go up, do your set, it's like 6 minutes, and then you come off and it's fine, and the audience are told to like be warm and like don't boo and stuff like that. So most gigs you do as an open micer, it's just friendly audiences. Maybe they don't care, but you're never really going to get booed or heckled.
You done it in front, like the people in New Zealand are wild, by the way, in terms of the different populations of people you've got there. Remember you telling me the story about, because I want you to tell everyone about this on camera, but the one about the comedian, the guy who heckled somebody, and it was, he got thrown out basically, or he said something mad.
So there's 2 in my head that I'm thinking of. One was racism.
Yeah, that's the one.
So that was
that's the one.
That was so yeah. There's this bar we used to go to on a Tuesday night, and
It's in New Zealand.
Yeah,
Okay.
in Auckland.
Yeah.
And so like over here, if you go to a comedy room, a comedy night, if it's in a pub, there'll be a room above the pub or below.
Yeah.
Over there, most of their comedy nights when I was doing it, it was all in like literally in the bar, and so like the mic would just be in the corner, and then people just come in, and like it was all right, but you get like the occasional like weirdo who's just turned up, like smashed out their head, and there was just these 2 blokes that were just sort of heckling for like throughout the first half, and they were gonna get asked to leave, and then as they did, basically there's 2 comedians on. One was like Maori or like Polynesian. I don't entirely know like the specifics. The other was like Fijian Indian, which even as a mix, like coming from the UK, I'd never heard that before, like Fijian Indian, but like it's quite a popular.
Fiji men are wild, by the way. You know the big rugby players.
Yeah,
that's the only Fijis I can think of is the big rugby players.
Yeah. So like, but it's like a British Empire thing. They've just been like
another
random
colony.
Indian populations in like different countries.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like Fijian Indian, but he's that big guy.
Yeah.
And they just were getting racist like in the bar, and it just like proper kicked off outside. Like they're getting kicked out, like throwing punches. About 3 of us just had to like chase them up the road. I didn't even really want to get like involved physically, but I thought I can't just watch it either. But I remember just chasing someone up the road, and I'm just thinking, I'm glad this geezer isn't big.
Wait, one sec. You chased the geezer up the road?
Yeah.
Why did you chase the geezer up the road for?
Because you're helping the comedians, because we're all like comics.
Okay.
And the geezer in the bar is being racist to one of the comics.
Okay.
So we're kicking them out.
Okay.
And then a fight kicks off. Like they throw a punch, and then it was more of it wasn't like a big fight, but it was just a bit of a scrap. Yeah. And then like one of the Fijian Indian geezer, he's like quite big, so if you get a punch off him, you don't really want you don't want more. Yeah. So I saw like him. I'm pretty sure I saw him throw a punch, and then everything just sort of went off from there. Jesus, that's where you're like, I don't fancy that.
Mad.
But I mean, that's probably like the worst thing I've seen in terms of doing comedy. Yeah. Was just like the audience members just being outright racist, but then like they just got like fucked up like pretty much straight away. I say I was chasing them up the road, like I was helping, but it was really moral support. Like these 2 do you know what I mean? These 2 are big geezers. They're not like I don't think they really need my help, but I was just like, I'm just there just in case.
Just in case.
If it was just me, you ever seen the Only Fools and Horses episode?
I'm clipping that and
where
putting
Rodney
it
chases the robber.
Have you ever watched Only Fools and Horses?
Yeah.
So there was a one where Rodney and I was talking about. I'm gonna clip it and add it to it when we do a reel with this, because I will. Yeah. I'll clip it and add the meme as he's talking about it. But Rodney and Del Boy are chasing thieves up the road. Someone who nicks a handbag. Rodney gets to the wall, and he's standing there and he's looking at the guy like this, and then and the guy turns around and looks at Rodney and ends up chasing him back.
There's like the realization where Rodney's like, nah, this geezer looks like he'll fuck me up, and the geezer's like, yeah, I think I will. And then that's how they catch him. But that's how I felt like if it was just me,
Yeah.
like the bloke probably would have turned around and I'd be like running back into the pub.
That's crazy.
But that's like that was quite mad. But it was also is that
That's your worst experience you've seen since doing comedy.
It's not happened regularly at all. Like,
Okay.
But there was another thing in New Zealand where so this was more of like a heckle of sorts. But it was in so their open mic night. You pay $5 to go and see it at like the Classic Comedy Club.
Okay.
And what they do is put 10 comedians on.
Mm-hmm.
So technically you're paying like 50 cents per comedian.
Yeah.
And one of the comedians goes on, because it's a mixture of people that have been doing it 2-3 years or people that just like starting. So some people are going to be funny, some people are going to be shit.
Yeah.
One person goes out is shit. MC comes back on, was like, oh, just trying to get everyone up again. Oh, you enjoying the night, blah, blah, blah. And one person in the audience goes, I was until that act. And everyone in the audience is quite supportive because it's just that type of night. So immediately everyone's starting to turn on him. But sometimes the audience members would try and be funny. They want to be the comedian.
Yeah.
So he tried to make a joke about, I'll be happy if you give me 50 cent refund. And basically the MC's just like laying into him, just like smashing up, calling him a dickhead, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, and then someone from the other side of the room takes 50 cent out their wallet, chucks it at him and goes, there you go, now fuck off.
Jesus Christ.
And that was like, they're probably the worst things I've seen in terms of just a coin getting thrown at someone and then like just like some sort of like racist getting beaten up. But outside of that, things have been quite calm. And I thought coming to London, that would have been happening more because New Zealand's quite like a calm country. It's not.
London.
Comedy clubs. No, I don't
over
know.
Here.
You know more than me. You do a lot more comedy. You do go to a lot of the comedy nights, but I suppose in London you've got.
There's a lot though in London, to be fair, but you don't really hear any drama.
Do you
like
not?
That, though.
I think I remember seeing something on your Instagram, Danny, where it was like there was a guy. So he'd put a real like a minute clip up of him talking on one of his sets. It was a while ago. I can't remember what I saw it on, but maybe TikTok. And he's talking about the nurse coming to do testicular to do the the checks when you had to on your down there.
Yeah.
And some guy commented going, "It's a conspiracy. I actually know he does. He's never had testicular cancer."
Yeah, I remember that. That was in during a pandemic, and
they said you never had that.
Yeah,
the comedy's still done like an online thing where like you just watch it. I think through like Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And you're sort of just performing like on Zoom in your room. And as I'm doing it, someone in the comments is going, "Nah, I know him. He's lying. He's got 2 balls." I have no idea who he was.
Oh,
that's probably like weirdest heckle I've had because I didn't even know it happened. Couldn't even respond to it. And he made it out like we were mates. He was like, "Yeah, no, that's my mate. He's lying."
Wow. Flipping hell,
do you never get tempted? You see me, the kind of person I am. I think I'll just get it out and go, there you go.
You see you.
I would have been.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first had it was out all the time. But like pubs, whatever.
It's bro.
Because no one's seen one testicle. No one's seen that before.
Yeah, who trying to snort it? Yeah, but that's crazy.
That's
so you're just like, yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
people just can't believe it's real. They're not even looking at it like with anything. They just can't believe it's real. People just want to see it just because.
It's one.
How many people do you know with one testicle?
Yeah.
There you go. See, it's do you know what I mean? It's a thing, but it's funny though because he's obviously made. I suppose it was one of your first jokes within comedy, innit? The whole
cancer stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I built most of my set around it. Especially like starting in New Zealand, it's hard to do relatable stuff.
Yeah, but do you know what it is? It's good with New Zealand. Yeah, okay, so that would be classed as dark humor, depending on how you do it.
Cancer, yeah.
Yeah, New Zealand and Australia, the humor over there is very dark, but it's fucking hilarious.
Is it,
bruv? No one's. Do you know what I compare New Zealand and Australian comedians to? Like, and I'm talking about the ones from there and the Australian. But I suppose if you go over there and do it, you kind of get dragged into it. Is you watch South Park, yeah?
Yeah.
So like, they're gunning for everyone. There's no one safe on there. No one. That's what, because I don't know, comedians. If you go and watch comedians, jokes aside, regardless of what they're saying, it's not something you can be offended by. And I always say this, like, for example, the stuff that Chris Rock come out and said to Will Smith.
I was gonna say that
like,
as well.
at the end of the day, it was a joke,
It was a shit joke as well.
Ricky
like,
Gervais.
Jokes to get offended over.
Ricky Gervais made the same joke on the UK office, and I think he tweeted it as well about alopecia and stuff. Because after Chris Rock said that, a load of people, like all these, do you know? And we talk about in the last episode, social media justice warriors. Yeah, they all come out. And like all these groups of people for alopecia and that come out, we don't approve of this, and this is all this. And then Ricky Gervais, who's like one of the biggest comedians in the world, or biggest on TV, probably one of the most successful. He's come out and retweeted a video of where he done the UK office, and he made a joke about alopecia, and he said, I didn't get no backlash for this. But it was like, I don't know, you kind of have a joke. It's a joke at the end of the day, and if you can't take the joke, you shouldn't really be there, if that makes sense. Because I don't suppose there's no malice behind the jokes, are there?
There's sort of like a feeling like in comedy clubs that like you can be offended by something, but just because you're offended by it doesn't mean you have to like let everyone else know. So you can go to a comedy club, you can think, nah, that was shit, I don't like that joke, like they've misunderstood something, whatever, that is offensive, like they're wrong, but that might be how you feel. But if you then get up in front of everyone, ruin everyone else's night, try and cut into the comedian's set, you might not even know, you might have cut the comedian down like 5 words into what he was trying to say, and then 10-20 words later it might be a thing where they go like full circle and show how like stupid what they saying was. So it's just, you can get upset and offended, but like you just have to keep it to yourself, like as simple as that, because the whole point of a comedy club is that you're trying to make people laugh. Like that's the base thing that people come from, is you're trying to make people laugh.
It's a generational thing, because like if I watch comedians, and I think most people are my age and above, you're not offended by it. If you was to show a 17, 18-year-old the content that we would have watched 5, 6, 7 years ago, bruv, they're too fragile to watch it. They're too fragile to watch it because of what they see online. So all they see now, like we laugh at it because of what we've seen growing up. But like for example, and I go back to it, the thing on the problem is they will never appreciate good comedy again. I don't care what people say.
That's a bold statement.
No, they'll never appreciate good comedy again, because you like the way that
stand-up comedy or comedy
in general. Like you're talking about like the guys that I watch, like I remember like Martin Lawrence doing sets. Like he was a little comedian for a bit, but he was funny. Like them kind of comics there. All these guys that have come up and done it, and the American comics, and even some of the UK comics are quite big as well. And you're talking from all different walks of life. Obviously, you've got Frankie Boyle, who's one of the most outspoken. Jimmy Carr.
Yeah, Jimmy Carr's quite,
Jimmy Carr's is just like he roasts people for an hour, like, and I think that's why people go and watch him. Seriously.
Yeah, because he does. He encourages people to heckle him.
Yeah, so someone heckled him, and then I said something about their mum. I was busting up.
Oh my days.
Yeah, but Jimmy Carr encourages people to heckle him. I don't know. I think there's a lot of like offensive.
No, there's loads of offensive humour. There's dark humour.
But what I mean is like comedians like knocking about now that do like offensive stuff.
No, of course. But I think it will only appeal to an older audience now. Maybe like that's the only thing. Like I think if things get the way they carry on, with social media justice warriors, they make it very difficult for comedians. Because
I wouldn't say that, because if you go to a comedy club, it depends on what comedy club, because some comedy clubs are like different age brackets. So if you go at like the Comedy Store, it's going to be more of an older audience. But if you go somewhere like Top Secret Comedy, that's sort of 18 to 25. You go in there, that's like a rave. Like when you go in, and like the comedians they go on, it's like a big range. It could be like quite a friendly comedian who, do you know what I mean, that just sort of does like family friendly stuff and But I can come on get like offensive as shit, whatever. But like the comedy club itself, it's like 20, 21, 22 year olds that are constantly filling it up. So like in the rooms, there's not really much of a restriction. Like the only time comedy seems to get restricted is online. Yeah. Because that's when you can take something you don't necessarily like, and then you can make like a thing about it. Yeah.
But
social media.
I think that a big thing of that is because of the rewatching thing. So if you go and watch a show live, and you've got you don't record it, your phones, you're watching what's there. I think that makes it. You may tell me I'm wrong, but I think it makes a big difference as opposed to if I watch a clip of Little Britain on Facebook 10 times over again and again and again, I will start to see maybe some things that go, oh, if I think like that, I'll start to think, oh, I'm offended by that. I'm offended by that. But I feel like if you go to a comedy club, don't record it, watch it once, live, leave.
Yeah.
Don't watch it again. You will laugh.
Yeah.
You'll laugh.
Comedy's best live. Like
Yeah.
most art forms are best live. If you guys see like musicians, you see them live. Like it doesn't. You know what I mean? Sitting there with like Spotify.
Unless you're Cheryl
doesn't
Cole.
feel the same. But like
Cheryl Cole's terrible singer,
Cheryl
bro.
Cole.
She's a terrible singer,
I'm
bro.
not saying nothing, bro.
She is though. What do you mean you're not saying
I'm-
nothing?
I-
As if we're gonna have
anyway,
Cheryl
anyway.
Cole sit on the sofa in
Cole.
I'm
Labrador
just
Grove.
saying. I'm just saying.
where's that come from?
No, I'm just saying a good
2010.
example of somebody who shit live. Sorry, carry on.
When have you seen Cheryl Cole?
I don't know, but I've just heard she can't sing live.
Do you think Yeah, go on, carry on, because.
But-
Yeah.
But do you classify live? But when you say live, because
Live,
person,
as in-
in person, in a room.
Alright, cool.
live.
Like stand-up comedy is best experienced in a room because it's like a group of you. You're in a dark room.
Yeah.
You're looking at someone up on stage, and you don't know what they're gonna say next.
Yeah.
That's like why it's so good, because then if you watch it on TV or say like Reels is a perfect example because you can just scroll past something so quickly. So you can like make a judgment on someone within like a sentence of what they say and go, I don't think I'm going to like this, and go watch something else. But if you're in the room, someone comes up, like you have to watch them. And so you get involved with what they're saying. And yeah, just that experience of not knowing what they're going to say makes it even better.
Do you remember when I become the centre of a joke when I come to watch one of your performances? So the host, the host,
Oh, that
long-
was in... Yeah.
the hosts always. I think the host of the show finds something and they latch onto it for like an hour. So in between, if you're the centre point, they're on you the whole time. And what was it? Why was he on me again? It was I can't remember. It was something to do with my name.
Yeah. Well, because he knows me.
Yeah.
And then I think instantly when people see me and you are cousins, there's like a mental switch going on in their head of trying to work out what's happening.
Jesus, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
So you got roasted on.
Yeah. He's like, how does Daddy's got this and then I've got this name and your name's very foreign and it's busting up. It's funny.
Yeah.
I was like, but he was funny though. He was hilarious. But he was on me the whole time, in between every set. Every comedian that come on, every time he's come up to me. Yes, how you doing? And it'd just be like live, and everyone's you feel a bit.
Do you know what that was? That room, we don't do comedy.
That was actually good. That was a good one, to be fair.
Where was it over here?
North London, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It's called like the Dairy something. It was like a pub in Crouch End,
Yeah.
like through Finsbury Park, and then just keep walking up essentially. But that's closed down now. But the reason he kept talking to you was because I don't want to say it because I don't want to like offend people that are on shows, but it was a shit room to do comedy in because it's just a pub. Like we was in the pub rather than above the pub or below the pub. We was in the pub.
Yeah.
So the acoustics aren't there. There's people chatting away, and there wasn't a lot of people there. So you were essentially the only person he could get any entertainment value out of. So every time he went back up, he was like, "I'm just going to speak to him again because that's the only way I'm going to get a laugh because no one else here."
Because he was busting. Because I suppose the first time he come up to me, everyone was busting up. So he thought, okay, go back, do it again. But this is good. But I find it hilarious though.
Do you know that gig? The worst thing about that gig. So I invited my mum to that gig because you come, Fiona come, I think Louise come,
Yeah.
and my mum come,
Yeah.
and Becky.
Yeah.
And I done it, and this is like maybe 10, 12 comedians, and then a handful of audience members, and so it's quite an awkward thing to do comedy in that setting because you're not really doing it to anyone, even though there's like people in front of you.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to do it, and I'm doing this material, and next thing I just see my mum with the phone out with like the video on the flash, and she's just recording it like this, like I'm live at the Apollo, and she's recording. And I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then like I just had to like finish the whole set. But like she recording it because, first time she saw me do it. That's not the first time she saw me do it, but it's the first time she saw me like do a 5-minute set. Okay. The first time she saw me do comedy was at the Gong Show in
Paul went to that as well, innit?
No, not that one.
No.
Paul, that's a different one. Oh my god.
Paul's Paul. Like his brother,
that's a different
would
one.
go there, and even if Danny's made everyone laugh, Paul would be the kind of guy and gone, I didn't laugh, and he just do it to wind him up. Like he just Paul's like that. He's like that.
That's a different one, right? But The Comedy Store one, so
Yeah.
that's like a gong show, like the Blackout, but it's much harsher. There's no like 2-minute grace period where you can go up and do your material. They put the Blackout will do like 12 comedians. A gong show will have like 50 on. They want people coming off 20 seconds after they've been up. And so I was very new to that. Like it was one of my first gigs in London, completely different experience and like vibe to Auckland. And I've done it, and I've done a joke about like having cancer. And I've gone like, oh, I got one ball. And then before I could get to a punchline, someone in the audience just went, "Oh, bollocks!" And the whole crowd just started like laughing. And I lost it from there. I got gonged off pretty much straight away. I was on for like 27 seconds. That was the first gig my mum saw.
Wow. Shit, man.
So after that, I can see why the next gig she was recording in a pub just to get the full set.
Make sure she sees her son, innit? Damn.
But Paul came to a gig recently. So like I done Father's Day. I had a gig booked in, and I was like, "You can come to this." And this was still COVID-y when everything was outside.
Yeah.
And so it was a bit shit because it was outside. If it had been in like the little theatre they had, it would have been better. But basically, my dad's sat at the front with my mum and my brother, and I've gone to the MC. Don't speak to my dad. I'm like, this won't, because he's right at the front. I'm like, you won't get any success out of this. You won't get any common sense. You're not going to get laughs. And my dad's just going to think he's funny regardless of what you say. So I was like, just don't talk to my dad, and he'll be fine.
Yeah.
MC goes out, does the opening bit, comes back, goes, I made the mistake of speaking to your dad. And my dad, middle of the way through the thing, my dad starts telling him a joke. He goes, it's about COVID. He goes, COVID? Don't know about that. I lost my wife to David. He does live at number 19.
Oh, shit.
It was just such a proper like dad joke. And it was just, so my dad's heckling. My dad heckled the MC, he heckled the opening act, and he heckled the headliner. So there's 3 people he's heckled at this gig. And then
smoke, bro. What the fuck?
Midway through, Paul, my brother, is just sat there, and as the MC's up, my brother gets his phone out, just looks at the time, and the MC catches him like looking down at the phone.
Oh shit!
And he's like, "What are you doing?" And Paul's just like checking the time. He's like, "Why do you need to go soon?" He's like, "Yeah, that's the plan." And it was just awkward, man. Like awkward. Front.
Yeah, come on, get him. Nah.
Comedians don't want to see people they know when they're doing stand up.
Yeah, see.
Like they want, if anyone comes with you, you want them in the back,
Sit in the back.
Can just sort of do.
And if the host picks you
From
the back, yeah,
that's
you've
cold,
done.
you know. You sir.
Oh,
I'll look behind me. Like, who me? No English. Sorry.
that's what I'm saying.
No
But
English.
it's it's an interesting one because I think what's your plans for stand up now? Anyway, you got anything else you're doing?
Well, I'm studying at the moment, so stand up's been like pushed back a bit.
You're not doing any now at the moment.
No, I am doing it, but basically I've had like extensions from like assignments due over Christmas, so I had to push it back. But then over the summer even, I was working like 2 jobs for like 3 months to try and cover the cost of living thing.
Jesus,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? So I was just doing like full-time jobs.
You don't turn your heating on in your house, do you?
I'll be honest, I've lived in my flat for 2 years.
Yeah.
I've turned the heating on once, and that was just to see if it worked.
So your house doesn't cold now?
It gets a bit cold, but
you
not
must have
central
a big
heating
jump.
cold.
You got a big jump. I see.
Coldest it's got is a scarf. And that was when it snowed recently. That's the coldest it got. And I just put a scarf on. So, yeah, like, because with the flat, because...
We know you're getting people in headlocks who try to put heating on you when you come into your house. Get them in headlock.
Well, you dumb. Don't touch my TV.
No, because in our house, it's my youngest brother. He keeps turning it on wherever he feels.
Choke him.
Yeah, he'll also walk around like topless or something.
Yeah, yeah. It's your godson, mate. This got the comedian from Dave. First thing he taught my youngest brother at the age of 2-3 years old was that middle finger. He just used to hold it up.
Yeah, he couldn't do it. He used like the mid.
Yeah, he used to go like that.
He couldn't do it properly.
Can't even do it with that thing. There we go.
I'm done.
Then I think your mum got in trouble from the school once when he learned how to do it properly.
Oh snap!
Yeah, godfather over here and cousin.
Bad choice.
But yeah, I was saying the heating thing's wild. I was saying to Donnie that the previous episode, I can't work out if the first episode we done is going to come out before this one or after. But anyway, we spoke about it before, and I think I said in the last 2 weeks, all in all, we've done £300 on gas and electric in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah. That's mad.
Chest.
That's mad.
Chest.
Asthma attack.
Chest. That's a whole phone bill plus one.
Yeah.
Plus 2 phone contracts. And if you get apps
free,
on the
that's
phone.
free Air Forces.
That's
bro.
everything. AirPods with it.
That's
yeah.
free Air Forces, bro.
I don't really pay much for gas because like I don't really use the heating, but like electricity went up. I think the standard rate I used to pay was about 40-50 quid a month,
Yeah.
and then like one fucking overnight it's like 140 quid.
I don't get, bruv. Bruv.
Do you know what it is, yeah?
This is
From
annoying.
seeing in the news, like, soon gas going up by 80%. 80%. Do you know how much? People don't fathom
my
this,
chest
yeah?
hurts, bro.
But 80% is like a joke. It's a joke. But yeah, like I say to you, I just can't wait for summer to come. Purely
we
because
can't wait for summer to
the
come,
gas companies are getting no fucking money off me in the summer. I can tell you that.
obviously.
I don't even want to hear people saying July is cold. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
No, but you're
It's
gonna
lukewarm.
hear that though. You're gonna hear that.
Listen, do you
Either
want
cold or
to
too
be
hot.
December or do you want to be July?
I hear that, but they're gonna say, "Oh, it's too hot."
No, leave it.
I'll be honest, energy bills have made me a fan of global warming. So I'm like, you know what? We might all die, but at least it's gonna be hot.
I'm actually done with you right now, bro.
Do you know what I mean? Because even like, I don't do the heating, but like, you know, you wake up in the morning, you go for a shower, you get out of the fucking shower, and it's freezing.
Blitz, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah,
my
have you never
days.
stood in the shower room and created a sauna just because you're cold?
Bro, I'm
Yeah.
chilling out. They're chilling
Yeah.
out. Yo, it's cold.
Like I run the shower for about 2-3 minutes
Bro.
before I'm jumping into it,
It's
just
too
to
cold.
create a
Yeah,
sauna.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Close all your windows.
Yeah.
light,
Yeah.
And then the rest of the rest
Nothing
of
coming out, bro. Just hot air and me, bro, in the yo. Oh, mate.
I'm telling you, man.
I don't know, man. This global warming. It's
What's that?
the gas thing, the electric, everything.
Electric.
It's too much. It's too much.
It's not attractive to
It's
live
too
in
much.
London, man.
Do you know, I got hit by all of that's happening, right? I got hit by a yearly water bill.
What?
A yearly. So like normally you pay it like quarterly.
You got a yearly water bill.
Yeah.
How much is that?
Oh my days, it was a good like, few
That-
hundred.
Jesus, Lord
Like-
have mercy.
And I think when I've worked it out, it makes sense. But getting that done in one hit, it's not fun.
I think heating, water. I can't get my head around
Bro,
it.
you need it. It's too
No,
cold.
but you
right
have to have it.
Yeah.
But do you know at the same time,
you've got
if
to-
I have to do what the UFC fighters do, and you know when they're cutting weight and they lay in bed with towels around them,
now.
if I have to do all of that, I'm gonna have to start doing that. What is it? Laying a hot bath, like mental. You see like the training boxers do when they cut in weight and they go into
Yeah.
like hot baths and lay in a bed with loads of towels or whatever it is to cut weight.
There was that video of Darren Till where he nearly
Yeah.
passes out, or he is passing out. He goes blind.
Yeah.
Like he goes like temporarily blind. As a UFC fighter,
Yeah.
and UFC doesn't have a lot of like
Restrictions.
like weights,
Yeah.
like weight classes. They've got like I don't know how many, but it's like much less than boxing.
Yeah.
So if you fall within like a certain weight limit, you just have to fight that. Even if you're too big for it, you just have to try and like reduce as much as you can.
Yeah.
And there's a video of Darren Till where like he's on like a cycling machine or like a running machine, and then they put him in like the towels in the bag and to like heat him up. And then at one point he's like, "Yeah, I can't see," and it's just like the stress of and like the dehydration.
Fucking hell,
But do you
bro.
know what? If you do that now, at least you can't see your bills, innit? So you're warm. You don't know how much you're paying.
Oh man.
Bliss.
Oh,
I don't know, man. Like, I got all these. The worst thing is, yeah, like there's so much wildness going on. Like, I did want to get on to other subjects. I don't think we've got time today, but there's so much going on. Yeah, you know, I ain't even got time to be hearing about problem. I don't know. I'm just looking at these bills, and it's just stressing me out. Do you know what I'm just like in general? Like I'm hearing like how do you do when? And I was saying this to Donnie. Yeah, we turn the gas on for 3 hours in a day max. Sometimes 2. Sometimes I might not even go on. But in 4 weeks, £300. Like I'm saying, something's loose. So it needs or we're I don't know, brother. You just can't get money. Like the gas don't mean.
bro, it's
Like I'm not even gonna pretend I'm sitting here and educated in the sense that I understand how that works with gas to £1 and all that shit, because I don't. But do you?
Mate, I pay what I gotta pay. That's it.
There you go.
I don't know shit.
Turn off the. Yeah, I'm turning everything off. Fuck that.
Like I'm lucky in that like I'm above 2 flats, but
Yeah.
then I'm below 1 more, so I'm insulated at the top, and then I get the heat in
Yeah,
a bit from below.
yeah, you're kind of good to be fair. That's
But like,
cool.
It still gets cold, man. Like if
But
I leave,
cold, badly though, or was it like?
you got to leave the windows open, otherwise you get like condensation.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
So like
yeah.
once you do that, you lose all the heat in a flat, and then you're just walking around like in fucking scarves like indoors.
Dry. It's been sick. We're gonna wrap up, but it's been sick. If you can, obviously shout out your socials as well. Comedian
Danny
socials.
T Field on Instagram.
Yeah.
T stands for testicle. Keeping that. That's my branding.
You serious, right? Joking.
My middle name's Thomas.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But Danny T Field on Instagram.
Yeah.
Follow me on Twitter. I'm probably useless. Like I chat shit. It's probably gonna like.
Follow our socials as well. Waffle-top podcast for YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Podcasts. Waffle-top PC for Instagram. Follow, subscribe, like, share, all of that shit. Don't forget. And we'll be back soon. Peace.
Peace out.